Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So med school officially starts next week and I'm out of my mind. I am very anxious. I've been stressed and I thought the best thing to do would be to make this video. I did have a couple of other things I wanted to talk to you guys about that I think I didn't really address or talk about in previous videos. So yeah, I just stuffed everything into this video, so hope you like it. If you're looking for some productive advice about the MCAT or something tangible about applying to med school, you won't find that in this video. So I encourage you guys to check out my other playlists where I go into these topics in great length. But yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. The first thing that I wanted to talk about or say to you guys is a huge thank you. I can't express into words how fortunate and grateful I am to have you guys watching my videos, commenting, sending me DMs, sending me emails. This is ultimately kind of what I envisioned for the channel. I wanted it to be the source of value for, a lot of other students out there, and to see you guys engaging and to see that some of you guys are actually getting some value out of my channel and my videos. It means a lot to me. It's really kind of what motivates me to make these videos, and I hope you guys continue to support me. And yeah, I can't wait to see how large this community can grow. I know that, my initial couple of videos have been kind of cringeworthy. I'm new to video editing. This whole process is new to me. And I think I'm learning. I think I'm growing. My goal has always been, with each subsequent video, increase production value, whether that be in terms of my actual content that I'm delivering, the video, the audio, whatnot. So hopefully you guys will see some great improvements in the near future with regards to the quality of the videos as well. But nevertheless, thank you guys so much. I think we have a nice close-knit community here, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this community grow. All right, so let's jump into the week before med school. So to be honest with you, my anxiety levels have been kind of over the roof. I'm probably overstressing, but essentially our deans and essentially a couple of faculty members have sent us a welcome letter this past Monday. And, they were just kind of talking about how, med school is going to be a lot of info, but, we're all here to support you. You shouldn't be worried. You shouldn't be stressed. But naturally, the way I work is, I'm going to get stressed. I'm going to get worried. And so I guess it's kind of gotten me to start reflecting a little bit. I know I kind of go on all these rants I have on my previous videos. But one thing that it's kind of gotten me to think about is the difference between the present and the future. If there's one piece of advice that I could give myself, 1 year ago when I was applying to med school, I would tell myself to make sure that I'm living in the present and not just chasing after some future, whatever the future holds. And, I think this is something we all kind of do in one form or the other. But, in actuality, if I look back on my previous year, I applied to med school, I went on interviews, whatever. But all I really see is I was worried about med school. I was worried about my med school application. I was worried about, how it's going to turn out. I was worried about where I'm going to end up going. It was just filled with med school. That's one whole year in my life. And, this is true for all applicants. There's this level of anxiety. There's this level of stress that just holds true for the rest of the year. And I think it's because we end up having this association between happiness and, some arbitrary future, right? I mean, of course we can have goals. Of course we can have dreams for the future. That's really what we work towards. Those are our motivators. And that's all well and good. But, we can't let it get to the point where our happiness is directly associated with that goal, with that future. Because when we do so, we essentially lose ourselves and forget about the present. This kind of adds up over time because, most of the people watching my channel are pre-med students. You guys are going to go to med school. You guys are going to, you're going to be great physicians. You're going to go through your future. But at the end of the day, if you look back and all you see is you were chasing after some future, right? Like today, it's getting into med school. After you get into med school, you want to do well in med school. After you do well in med school, you want to get into some kind of residency. After that, fellowship, on and on and on. Like, when's it going to end, right? It's never going to end. That's why you got to essentially separate that association between happiness and, your future. A lot of people tend to see happiness kind of like a package. It's like an Amazon delivery. Like, we think we can't be happy until we get that delivery. And that delivery is going to happen someday in the future, right? Unless you have Prime. But the fact is, happiness, that package is with you right now. Like, you have it in your home, it's ready to open up, but so many of us just choose not to do it. I didn't as well. And that's because we think we can't be happy until we achieve a certain level of, a certain number of our goals, reach certain steps. And that's just really demoralizing, and it's not healthy, right? I mean, I don't think I need to say this again and again. It's just straight up not healthy. And there's one thing I could tell myself 1 year ago, that is separate the association between happiness and getting into med school. Because think about it, guys. You guys are working hard. Like, I know you guys are working really hard, taking the MCAT, preparing for it, doing med school apps. Like, you guys, this is not easy at all. Like, you guys are really working hard. And when you're putting in that much level of effort, it's going to pay off. But what you need to remember is there's more than one way of accomplishing the same thing. A lot of people, what they like to do is, they envision a nice path for themselves. Okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Hopefully it'll work out like this and I'll end up with my end goal. But the fact is, there's so many different paths that you can take to achieve that same goal. And each path has its own, pros and cons. And the problem is, a lot of people think their preconceived path and their preconceived notion of a specific way of accomplishing something is the only way to accomplish that goal, and they see the other paths as being a waste of time. They're unnecessary, they're inefficient, they're ineffective, and I think that that's just wrong. That mindset is just wrong. There's more than one way of accomplishing the same thing, and reaching the same goals, and maybe even doing better things when we go through a path we didn't even anticipate or expect for ourselves. It's very important for us to have that open-minded nature. It's only when we have that open-minded nature, kind of open our minds up to the different possibilities in life, the different paths that we could take to get to the same goal. That's the only point in time in which we'll finally be able to free ourselves between this association between happiness and a goal. Then we can, we're kind of freed up, the shackles of expectation are kind of lifted, and you can finally be happy and live the present moment, work hard, and then you'll reach your dreams. You guys are working hard, you're going to reach your goals, but you can't let you ultimately reaching your goal be the ultimate determiner, and the factor for determining whether you'll be happy or not. That's the one thing that if I could go back in time, tell myself that's what it would be. Now, you guys may be thinking, easier said than done. Of course, I'm saying this now. I've gone through the application process and stuff, but you'll rarely ever encounter, your future self coming back and telling you, man, I wish you did this, because, that's just not going to happen. Technically speaking, if you guys are applying to med school now, as I think most of you are, who watch my channel, or, if you're going to be applying to med school, you're in the same shoes that I was a year or more ago, and I'm kind of like telling you guys this from the wisdom that you can call it that I've gained from this last 1 year. Don't let the application cycle take its toll on you. You guys are going to succeed, but you'll only succeed if you you allow yourself to succeed in the present moment. That was just my little rant. I think I've kind of said the same thing in another video, but I just wanted to put this out there once more. Before med school starts, the one thing that I wish I had known a year from now. All right, so kind of jumping into the logistics of med school. So how is it going to work for me? So next week is my first week of med school. It starts on Monday, so that means that this is my last weekend before med school. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing. To be honest with you, I was expecting to be a little bit more excited than anxious as I am right now, but I think they're both on equal footing at this point. I'm equally anxious as well as excited, but I think that's a good thing, and it's an expected thing. The first week is going to be something called Introduction to Med School. So we're basically going to have a series of talks and discussions by faculty members and the deans, essentially talking about the different resources we have at our disposal, the curriculum, how med school is going to work in general, right? And what is essentially going to be expected of us. So it's going to be filled with a couple of, and this is all online as of now. This is all essentially going to be taking up most of the week from morning to afternoon. And after the first week, we jump right into actual content. So we start off with this thing called Foundations. That's the first block. And I believe we're going to be covering primarily anatomy in the first 3 weeks of this Foundations course. And we also have our first exam. I'm going to try to put the schedule up here if I can, but we also have our first exam at the end of August. So that's also been another reason for being a little anxious. We also have a couple of assignments due, I think, in the month of August. So things are really getting real. And you know, I guess I kind of got used to the fact that, you know, summer has been mostly not doing anything. I mean, yeah, I started a YouTube channel. Yeah, I've been keeping myself busy, but I think for the most part, I've had a lot of free time. And just seeing the stark contrast, because, you know, lecture, it seems to be that lectures run from 8 to 12 every day. And then I think 2 or 3 days of the week, we have this doctoring course called Practice of Medicine, where I believe, I'm not 100% sure, we get set up with a preceptor and they essentially help us learn real clinical skills, like getting a history from a patient, conducting a physical exam, and, you know, how to talk to patients in general. So yeah, I think there's kind of like a little bit of a shock because, you know, the routine's going to be kind of messed up. And so, you know, probably once you begin, it's all going to be all nice. You know, anxiety levels will probably go down, hopefully. And yeah, it looks like most of our class is on, we have a group chat in GroupMe, and that's kind of how we've all been kind of keeping in touch until now. It looks like we have a really nice, fun group, so I'm really fortunate for that. Can't wait to meet everyone. So the rest of the month is going to be online, and so therefore we're not going to be able to, you know, meet one another as classmates, but hopefully we will be able to afterwards. The school did mention that there's going to be some mandatory in-person activities starting somewhere in the middle to end of August. So yeah, I guess there is that to look forward to. But yeah, so overall, I guess I can say I'm excited. I'm a little anxious. I'm going to update you guys next week. Now, as far as YouTube goes, I am going to be making videos. So if you've noticed, I mentioned that I'm going to make a video a week, but I've kind of been trying to hit 2 videos a week, one on Wednesday, one on Saturday, just so I can get more valuable content out for you guys. I know that the application cycle is kind of upon us. Interviews are going to start rolling in. Yeah, I know that you guys have been kind of going through a lot, online interviews, and there's a whole new system by the AAMC that I've heard about. So I wanted to make a couple of videos kind of giving you guys some advice from my experiences on how you can tackle these, even if they are online interviews and whatnot. So my goal is still to continue making 2 videos a week. If I find that becomes kind of difficult, at the very least, you will have 1 video coming out every Saturday morning. So you can definitely be on the lookout for that. All right, so that is it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. As always, I'm just a DM away. Regardless of whether you need something tangible, you know, you need some quick advice, you need some help with the MCAT, applying to med school, or you just want to vent, I totally understand that. I totally get that. Feel free to send me a DM. I do respond faster to DMs than emails. Unfortunately, I don't check my email that often, but I'm going to start doing so. But yeah, hope you guys found this helpful. Hope everyone is doing well, and I will see you guys in that next one. Take care.